Welcome to this guide to, hopefully, all things biogas on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Biogas plants, all things biogas. That's kind of what we're going to be looking at. Now, well, it is what we're going to be looking at. I may make a mistake. It's not unheard of. When I did my mod review on Saturday, I kind of made an error, but I'm going to defend myself on this. I know this has nothing to do with the biogas, but I was referring to the trailers and the tyre options that we were given, and I said about the fact that it increased the capacity, the load amount of the trailer depending on the tyres you went for, and I was corrected and told that it was actually the capacity or the mass of the trailer that had changed. Well, technically both are true. I shall show you why, because I made a mistake and I turned off a setting that I had previously had on. So this one here, fill trailer limit, I had it on. And when you have that turned on and you go and look at trailers, I know, like I say, there's a few extra bits and bobs you're going to find out in this video, and I hope it's helpful to anyone who is watching. If you have that turned on, and then we go and we look at a trailer, for example, it will say on there the weight of the trailer. So in this case, on the cramper half pipe, it's 6 ton, but its weight that it will carry is 16 tons. Now, when it hits 16 tons, it will not allow anything else. Now, that may not be the capacity. It's 12,100 litres, but it may not hit 12,100 litres. It may hit its weight limit before it hits its capacity. So it depends which you want to go for. Now, I don't know if it's going to do it here on the tyre options, but if I go from Trillable, at the moment it's saying 6 ton all up weight, or say 6 ton weight of the vehicle, 16 ton load. Is it going to change any of these? There we go. If I put the Digestate on, the overall weight goes up to 6.2, but the gross weight, what it can actual handle, was 15.8. So it goes down a little bit. If I change any of those, there you go, 6.1 ton weight of the tractor, 15.9. So it does, and it doesn't always go up. That's the thing about it. If we go to Michelin's, and which one changes as well? The Digestate, 15.7, 15.8. So yeah, so I was kind of right. And what had happened was when I did the mod review, I got flustered because that option was missing, and I suddenly thought, what? But when I was changing the tyres, the kilogram one there was changing. So I just went ahead and said, oh, you know, that's the case. It is the case, but it just wasn't on the mod review. So apologies for that. But anyway, biogas plants. The PlanET. These, at the time of recording this, these are the only ones we've got in game. There are no modded ones or anything yet. So if you're watching this and we've got loads of modded variations, some of this may be slightly different. Some of it may be not inaccurate, but it may have changed depending on when you are watching this. The biogas plants, if we go into our build menu, you'll find under production and under factories. Let's go down. So we have got the PlanET biogas plant, 99 kilowatt, 435 grand, 7 slots. We have got the biogas plant, 250 kilowatt. That's not one slot. I've placed one. I forgot to write down what it was. 875 grand. And then we've got the biogas plant, 500 kilowatt, which is 1,180,000. Now, you might also realise, or have noticed, on the maps that we start with on FS22, there's a 1 megawatt on the maps. Now, that's not available to buy yet. That's placed on the map already, but you can add to those if you want to. Now, also look in bottom right, on each of these, it tells you what goes in, what comes out. Going in, you can put silage, you can put manure, you can put slurry, and you can put chopped sugar beet. They're the 4 things you can put into them. Out comes biogas, electricity, and digestate. One of those has got me a little bit puzzled, and like I say, this may be, you may have the answer to this, and you may be fully aware. Now, I have placed, as you can see, that one there, that is the 250 kilowatt. And we've got the 1 megawatt on the map I've bought as well, just so we can show The difference in the two, because there are a couple of differences with these as well. Very nice looking structures, and I've prepared a load of stuff. Now, I've had a bit of a game of this because I'm going to be honest with you, I've had an issue with the game where I have played and prepared a load of stuff. Now, I don't always save on my test map because I want to be able to reset it for the next thing I want to test. Every time I've hired a worker, not on a field, but if I try and get a worker to travel from location to location while I'm doing another process, my game has crashed. It's frozen completely, and I've lost everything I've done previously. So this is my second time of trying to record this, and when you see everything I've got ready, it's taken a while to set up. So this one, the 250, as you can see, I've got my field information on. So bottom right, you can see the information of everything when you come up to it. Nothing active at the moment. This is where you put into it. Then you've got a bit here, and we've got this to the side. This can take us to our productions menu, production chains menu, or we can go in from the menu. It depends whichever way you want to go with it. We'll have a look at that in a moment in a bit more detail. This is also for putting in. That is for slurry. For putting in silage and manure, that goes in here. Chopped sugar beet, we'll look at in a moment because I haven't tested that one yet. I've been having a nightmare with that. This is where we take out. So I've got a silage clamp over here with some silage in it, which I've kind of prepared already. We're going to look at the different ways we can put into it. But what I want to do is have a look at the menu just here. So as you can see, we've got the biogas plant 250 kilowatt and we've got the biogas plant 1 megawatt. Inputs, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet, cut, haven't got any of those. But what's interesting is it shows you what's going in. So this one, the 250 kilowatt, 2,120 litres of silage will do 1,909 electricity, biogas, and 636 of digestate. Now, if you look at the outgoing products, they're incoming materials, of which we haven't got any at the moment. Outgoing product there, the only one we've got available is digestate. So I thought we would get somewhere you can get electricity from. Because we've got the electric tractor, the Rigitrack, the biogas, the gas bottle there, I think is just the fact that you get paid at midnight, that the actual whole production facility is producing gas. Because, again, I haven't found anywhere either of these biogas locations where you can collect, or because I thought maybe there's a charge point. So rather than having to place a charge point and it charging you to use it, you can just go to the biogas plant if you're producing your own electricity. The fact it gives you a number there as well is weird. I've been around both of them, the 1 megawatt and the 250 kilowatt, and I can't find anything. So that's what I'm interested in. I did think maybe if you placed the charging point when you went to use it, it wouldn't charge you if you had a load sort of stored, but there's nothing here on this side that tells you that it's being stored anywhere. Now, I wouldn't put it past FS22 at the moment for there to be a really obscure building or something hidden somewhere that when you place it, it will store it there. Again, haven't been able to find anything, but I'm just putting it out there now. As far as outgoing products, the same as a lot with stuff with the production chains, we've got bottom left, change output mode. So at the moment we are on storing, so we're going to store the digestate. We can come and collect it whenever we want to use it. We've got selling. I'm going to put one of these on selling and one of them on storing because I'm interested to see what we're going to make if we just sell directly. And then we've got distributing. Now that one I again wouldn't touch because digestate, there's no sell point. You can't sell digestate, at least not at the moment. There's nowhere to sell it. So sorry. There's nowhere in the production chains to distribute it to. So when I tried this as a quick test earlier, that number just kept rising. It didn't go anywhere. It just said distributing and nothing really happened. So storing or selling. This one I'm going to put on selling. I'm going to see some product coming in. The 1 megawatt, as you can see, because it's a much bigger production facility, we've got stuff coming in, the stuff going out, all the figures are different. But there is a number next to the gas as well there, which again made me think, well, hang on, what if it's methane that's coming out? Because we've got the methane-powered tractor. Again, I can't find anywhere to collect it from. Like I say, we've got this collection point here. As far as I could tell, that was just Digestate. I did bring over the Rigitrack, I did bring over the methane-powered tractor, and I got nothing when I was testing it. I've been round it, all the way around. I couldn't find anything else that gives me any indication you can get your electricity or methane from here. But like I say, so what we're going to do is look at the other things that we can be putting in. I have also got pigs on the go because I was very aware we needed slurry and we needed manure. So I've got slurry that end, and at this end we've got our manure. Now again, if you're not aware, if you're having trouble with your pigs or your cows and you're getting no manure but you're putting straw in, you have to place one of the manure heaps, but not a silo. You need a silo extension. So if you place a manure heap extension, you'll get manure. If you place a manure heap silo, you don't. Don't ask me why. It's just the way it is at the moment. So we've got manure here, 108,000 litres. We've got slurry the other end. So what I'm going to do is start off with slurry, because that's going to be the quickest and easiest one to deal with, I think. Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about was the prices menu. If we go down to, not that one, up to, there we go, and we scroll down until we get to, so here for silage, it will tell you where you can sell it. So the animal dealer will take it. So if you're looking for what the prices are, because it doesn't actually say on the actual, when you do the build mode. So biogas plant 1 megawatt is paying 327 and the 250 kilowatt is paying 285. So unlike FS19, when they were often fixed, it was 360, sometimes it was a bit more, sometimes a bit less, depending on the map maker. These fluctuate along with prices of everything else. So they can change. What else was I going to look for? It was coming out. I just want to show you the Digestate. Manure and slurry, it tells me how much I've got there on hand, which I like that in the menu as well. So not only have I got it stored, if I come into this one, the prices menu, it tells me what I've got there nice and clearly. I know the other one did before. But again, biogas plant, manure, it will buy off me for 66 at the 1 megawatt and 51 at the 250 kilowatt. Slurry, again, prices there. But Digestate, there's no selling point available for Digestate. So when it says selling as well, as an option on there, I'm not sure we're going to get paid for it. So that's why I've set that one on selling, and I'm going to set the other one on storing, because I'm curious to see if we are going to get any money. I don't think we are, which worries me that there's an option on there for it. So this is what took me quite a while, because I had to obviously put the animals in. I had to get all the feed in, and I did just use pig food because I thought it was going to be easier. And then I had to scroll through time, but I also had to plant SUGARBEET to grow SUGARBEET because we needed that. I needed the manure, so that had to go, the biogas plants and all the equipment machinery. It took a while, and then I had that issue where it crashed, so I lost like these new tankers as well. I love them. I think they're really cool. Anyway, so what I was going to say was, yeah, so for our slurry, this is where we deliver it here. It comes up, start overloading. So our slurry is going in. I'm going to put some here. I will show you the other one as well because it's over there. So we'll put half in here. Then we'll check the menu, the production change, and you'll see the slurry and you'll see that it's chugging away. Also the fact that, I didn't even look at the screen, when we get paid for it as well. I do love these new 8Ss. Oh, gorgeous tractor. So the 1 megawatt is a big old facility, and there is a difference between them. If you come down here, down the side, so as you can see we're putting in, but our money's not going up, so it's going to be the same as it was on FS19. You get paid at midnight. So for anything that gets produced, you'll get paid at midnight. So if we go back, we don't want that screen anymore, we want our production chains. You'll now see, why is that not showing anything? Running. So at our 250 kilowatt, slurry in 9,369 litres. It's down as selling, we'll see. And then this one here, slurry in 11,620, and it's storing. You can see it's already producing Digestate 3 litres. So we are now producing Digestate, we're storing. As I drive around this one as well, we've got the take out point. Each one will have one as well. Anywhere where you can take a product away, the icon is like that for taking out whatever it may be. But like I say, I can't find anything that says electricity or gas. But now this is empty, because I am now producing digestate, I can take my digestate out from here. I've got 6 litres on hand at the moment. Huge amounts. So that's slurry. Fairly straightforward and simple. Next we will do some manure. And you'll see why it's different at each facility. Now that's not to say with future mods and things that might happen, a bit of clever ground working or something, you might be able to do it. I put a silo there because I wasn't sure if I could store some bits in there. As it turned out I couldn't. So manure. The other thing I wanted to test, I said it wasn't just going to be biogas, but it's kind of related to, was to see whether these new augers would pick up from the ground. The answer to that is no, they don't. The Meridian ones, there's 2 of them, this one and there's the larger one you just saw over the other biogas plant. But with the pickup conveyor, we absolutely can get it to work. So what we'll do is just pop that there. We want to turn on the conveyor belt, and we'll back the other one up to it. I want to raise it, actually I want to move it first. Now, you may argue, well, why didn't you just have a trailer load all ready to go? Well, I could have done, but in all honesty I wanted to kind of show this working as well. And we want to raise that up. So we'll go into the trailer. There we go. So as you can see, these work really well. I like those. Now, there are the other conveyor belts, but obviously these are new to game. I just want to have a look at these. So yeah, under conveyors, the Meridian ones, but you do need a pickup conveyor. I think again we got so used to on FS19 having the ability to had ones that picked up off the ground. There are a few modded ones that picked directly off the ground, so you could just back straight in with one and away you go. These pigs running all over the place is rather off-putting. I don't think we need a full trailer load, but you'll see anyway. Right, that should stop. Right. Now, if we come up to this one with our manure, now this is where the manure is going to go. If I back up to this, unlike on FS19 we had a few of these, and when you got close enough to it, it came up with the symbol to unload. It's not. And because that one sits quite high, you're going to have to load into it using something else. Now the manure definitely goes in there, because if I come along to this one here, which is where we unload our slurry, nothing happens. I don't get a symbol come up to unload. But if I go to the 1 megawatt one, you watch this not work. MrSealyp's law. It's not Murphy's law anymore. It's MrSealyp's law. You know how it is. It's not far between these two, so I hope you don't mind a bit of driving. I might start chopping the driving bit out in a minute, but this is raised. It has a raised platform behind it, and as you can see, as soon as we go onto the raised platform behind it, it gives me the option to unload here. So the other one, I would need to use a bucket or a conveyor belt, or a wheel loader with a bucket, whatever it might be. In this case, at this one, we go back to this menu, we're on the 1 megawatt. You can see manure's now coming in, so we've got slurry there, we've got manure, and we are storing our digestate. It's going up a bit fast now because we've got 2 products now in there that are all working away at the same time. So yeah, that's one big difference between the one that is fixed on the map and the one you place. The one that's placed is going to need you to put things into it. Rather, I mean, you've got to put things into this one, you know what I mean? Rather than just tipping, you've got to use a bucket or, something like that. I'm going to finish off with silage because I've done slurry, I've done manure, the sort of, I suppose, the lesser commodities, if you want to call them that. Now here's the interesting one. Chopped beets. If you've been having trouble with chopped beets, join the club. What a nightmare. This was not obvious at all. I tried feed mixers, I looked for silos, I looked for a machine that would do it. If you know the answer to this already, I'm very happy for you. I didn't know the answer to this. Wow, I searched through absolutely everything. So I've got my sugar beet, I've got some loose on the ground, I've got some in my beet harvester. I use the new Rexor and I love it. I think it's really, really cool. I've got myself a trailer here. Now, if you want to do chopped sugar beet, because I thought maybe you just put sugar beet into the silo, into the biogas plant, and it will chop it in there. No, it has to be chopped first. And here's what you need. If we go up here and we go down to front loaders and front loader tools, you want front loader tools. And we go right the way to the end here, and there's this called the Flegel Ruby 2000. This tool can cut sugar beets to feed them to your biogas plant. How very helpful, hiding it there for nobody to find. I mean, like I say, I would imagine people have found it. It's the only thing so far. All I would say is I hope a modder out there is going to mod a bigger version or a static version, or because it's a pain. Now, I have kind of devised, I'm sure other people have worked this out already. It's a bucket that goes onto a front loader, so I have got a weight behind because it's, I think, 2,300 litres. Now, if you're going to scoop 2,300 litres at a time and then chop it and put it into a trailer, 203, it's going to take a while. That said, having it so your harvester is sitting idle while you do this is not ideal either, because you want your harvester to be running on the field. So it's not the quickest or easiest way of doing it, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is turn on my harvester, jump out of there. I'm going to come to here. Now this will say L1, turn on front loader tool. So the front loader tool is what does the chopping. So what I can do here is have it kind of automated, so that as it chops, it's going to load from the harvester into the bucket and chop it and put it straight out, hopefully. So what should happen is, there we go. So as it's chopping, so I'm now getting my sugar beet from there, chopping straight through and into my trailer. I thought it was rather clever. Like I say, I'm sure other people have worked it out already. I'm probably not the first, but I'm very happy with how that's worked. Please, Giants, bring the disable camera collision thing back. So that will carry on chugging away until I'm done. The other one thing I think is a big difference, and it took me a while to sort of realise, not realise, but I suppose because I was into the habit of doing it, that you had to keep the engines running on a lot of these bits of equipment. On FS19, you could set something to unload, turn the engine off and walk away, and it would just carry on unloading until it filled whatever it was filling. But you have to have the engines running now for all these things to operate, which is true, you would need to, but for things like that, I kind of got into the habit of not having to worry. Now if you don't have it running like this, automated, this will work really well as well if we get a silo that, because I don't think we've got a root crop silo yet, have we? Maybe there is one in there, but if there's a root crop silo, and you can put this bucket on a front loader under the silo pipe, and then just have it run into a trailer, that again will make life so much easier, and it won't then tie up your sugar beet harvester. I think that'll probably do. There we go. I'm going to turn this off because I don't want it to do anything silly. Empty that bucket right out. But this does have the option to be used as a regular bucket. Oh, it wasn't quite finished. Sorry. You can use it as a regular bucket too. So, like I say, if you have got a load on the ground and you want to just scoop it up, would have helped if we didn't have that still running. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I suppose you could do that, couldn't you? You could just spend ages scooping, chopping, scooping, chopping, scooping, chopping, and then have piles of each sat in a storage facility somewhere. Now this will be exactly the same. Yes, I think it will. That in this one, it's going to need to be put up there. Actually, you know what? I'll do it with the front loader tool. all that stuff had just dropped on the floor. It won't do it from here, I don't think. But the one up on the raised platform, it will, yeah. So it won't do it there. But let's use this one. It did take a while to get going, don't they? There we go. I wonder if I need to tip it or whether it just, oh, do it like that. There we go. I mean, I'm kind of double chopping it. Would have probably been just as easy to tip it, but. So what I should find now is, didn't have it activated. Sugar beet cut, 2,300 litres. Now, see what I mean? That's set on selling, but it's saying 14 litres, and my money's not going up. So I don't think it's selling, because there's no sell point. There's nowhere to sell it to. So that was the point I was kind of making under there, is under that change output mode, you just want it on storing, because there isn't anywhere else for it to go to. I suppose they're leaving it open further down the line that if things get modded or production chains or production lines or anything occur that allow it, then you can then sell it or distribute it. But at the moment, there isn't anywhere to sell it or distribute it to. Right, so we'll take the other load over there. Then we'll turn our attention to the silage, which is the last of the products going in. So what we'll do, we'll skip forward to midnight, and we should see our money go up. So that side of things hasn't changed, but there are a few differences having it as part of the production chains as well. Having it, you can change the output modes, and you've got the activate and deactivate, so you can fill a load of stuff up and just leave it sat there, and then get it to chug away when you want it to. The rates at which they process, again, we'll find within a very short space of time. As new biogas plants appear, there'll be varying rates depending on who's made them and that kind of thing. There you go. So as you saw, it comes up. Tip that in as well. So we should see that going up on our 1 megawatt. That's interesting. That one's turning on automatically, but the other one's not. Wonder why that is. I wonder. So it's just dawned on me. We're storing it. Oh no, this is Digestate we're storing. I was going to say, we should get paid at midnight for the process. We don't get paid for the Digestate. That's separate. We're storing the yeah. Sorry, ignore me. I was oh no, maybe we need to put it on selling to get paid. Of course you don't. That's we should be getting paid for that anyway. Right. That's that. Something I will say as well. I have found compacting silage clamps. I think, I don't know if it's just me, is much quicker. I did have a go with the Prenoth. That thing, wow, I love it. It works really, really well. And it levels really nice, so you've got a lot of kind of control over that. But I also use one of the compacting levelers, the silo compaction. I used the Weber Disc 180, and yeah, they both. I mean, I didn't have a huge amount. I think I've got 100,000 litres ish, and it compacted so quickly. It was amazing. Right, so putting silage in. You can use a mixer wagon if you want to go down this route, or if you want to use your silage for making mixed ration, you can. But the great thing about it is, if you haven't got a conveyor belt or don't want a conveyor belt, we can just come up to the silage clamp, use this, because it's got its own built-in conveyor, which is jolly handy. We've got one tip side left, and we should come alongside here. Now again, this won't necessarily work. There we go. This won't work on the other one because it's on the ground. So we can put into our biogas plant there. We can also do it with buckets, we can do it with silage forks, we can do all sorts of stuff, but we can also do it with conveyor belts, which brings me on to using the other Meridian. The big old beastie, because that's a bit longer. I thought I'd give it a go. The other one worked, why shouldn't this one? So we'll turn that on, turn that on. What should happen? Please work. Now that is just short, but I think because it allows tipping here, it's okay. And we can use extensions. As you can see, bottom right, my silage going up. So now in this one we've got sugar beet cut, manure, slurry and silage all going in, and we've got a digestate coming out, which is where we want to be at. And I like having the field info open so you can look as I can bottom right, and it's all there. It's just information's there. I know exactly what's there, exactly what's in, exactly what's being processed. Now that may annoy you after a while, but I just, you know, for the time being, I think it's really handy. So that works. Whether you do it with mixer wagons, whether you do it belt fed, whether you do it from a trailer, however you want to do it, because this one has got the raised platform, it will take it straight in, no problem at all. I'm going to leave that chugging away until that stops. We'll let that process. Which means we need to go to the other one. Actually, I don't need that, do I? So, at my other one, my 250 kilowatt, we've got a trailer. We've got a silage fork. That's an 8,000 litre silage fork for the wheel loader, by the way, which is quite handy. And we've got one of these as well here. Just to show you that if we do load it into here, which we can do, again, you watch it work. We don't need a huge amount in there to prove the point, but now bales, silage bales will work as well, because you can unwrap silage bales now as well. Go up to them and it will let you cut the bale. Once you've done silage bales and they are fermented, silage bales will go in as well. You can plop them in, and you know that all works. But I think I've got the tip side right, which is here. Nothing comes up there. Nothing comes up in front of here. Who remembers back? Was it FS15 or 17? 15, wasn't it? There was that weird glitch that if you came up alongside this, the sort of cell point into the digestion system, if you came right up on the end here, the trigger just popped up ever so slightly and you could get away with it. That is not the case with this one. As you've seen on the other one, the 1 megawatt, it works fine. Tipping with the trailer, also, we'll do it, but you know, just to show, highlight the facts, you know, just so you can see what will work and won't work. And again, this is obviously at the time of recording this, because if you're watching this in 6 months' time and there are loads of biogas plants, there might be loads that do have a trigger in front that do allow for various different things, then obviously, you know, things will be a little bit different. Let's get a load in there. Stick 1 bucket into that. To be honest with you, out of all of this, I think, well, I love all the menu options. I love the fact it's part of production changes. That can tip in there. It's not quite high enough, is it? I think the trailer's too low. We can get it to tip. It's not pretty, but we can get it to tip. Obviously, you're going to want a telehandler or something with a higher option. But we are going to use this as well. I think as well, it depends where you place your why has that just stopped working? That's weird. Oh no, we're not going to have that again, are we? Is that stuck? Are we going to have silage clamps that we can't empty? Who messaged me the other day to say that? Was it Bear and Papa? Do you remember when 19 came out? We had all those problems, didn't we? Was it 19 or 17? Might have been 17. I'm trying to think that. So you've already seen we can do it with conveyor belts, which is a great way of doing it. It works really well. Or if you're going to spend some time just doing it with a bucket and loader, now and again, this is not going to be high enough, is it? Oh no, it might be. It's a bit lower sided. There we go. So we're going like that, no problem at all. If we check this one, yeah, need to activate it. That's odd, isn't it? That one, the 1 megawatt, automatically, as soon as I put anything in, switched on. This one I've had to manually activate it to get it going. So, sugar beet cut, slurry, silage. We didn't put any manure into this one. But what I was going to do was show you the fact that the trailer won't either, and you are going to need to use buckets or conveyors or something to put into these ones. So what we'll do next is check at midnight and see what we get paid. Each one of them has got something of everything in there running. You already saw me use the slurry tanker. I mean, if you're not sure about it as well, so I'm kind of making a lot of assumptions that people will know. Conveyor belts are under tools, they're under belt systems. That's a pickup conveyor. And then you've got this one, which has got an extension. That one is an extending section. Then we've got these two new ones, the ones that I've just kind of used and shown. The mixer wagons are under animals, but I've used the self-propelled ones, so they're under vehicles and animals. He says, there we go. I've used the one on the end, but they all do the same things. They'll pick up the silage if you want to do it that way. What was the other thing I was going to show you that I was thinking about taking things for granted. Yeah. It won't let me. The 1 megawatt facility is 1.5 million to buy on the map as well. So if you want to get into biogassing and that's too expensive, there's the cheaper version, the 99 kilowatt of these, which is an interesting way to go about it. I'm still really puzzled by the electricity and gas thing. Yeah, don't know why that's showing the way it is. So now it will just be a skip forward to midnight, and we'll see what we get paid. Or do I just skip the night and it should come up on the menu? It's a risk, isn't it, that I'm going to miss it and then we won't see anything. But everything is processing. Back on our menu here, at our 250 and at our 1 megawatt. Yeah, I started off saying I got sidetracked. I'm happier about the oh, it's the slurry tank I was going to show you. About the cut sugar beet. About working out how to do that. Probably than anything else. I don't know. That's pleased me that I managed to work out. It has taken me quite a while to find it. Yeah, the other thing was slurry tankers, wasn't it? Saying about collecting the digestate. That's where I was going with it, and I got sidetracked as I have been all the way through. Yeah, these two are new, and I like them a lot. They will take slurry and digestate, so you can take your slurry there to unload into the biogas plant, and when your digestate has been processed as your byproduct, you can collect it with that and take your digestate off. So as it stands at the moment in-game, digestate, again, you may be new to the game, great, what's digestate? Why do I need it? Well, digestate can be used, well, part of the slurry system as well, for fertilizing. So your slurry spreaders will do slurry or digestate. So what you can do, if you've got a load of slurry, put it through the biogas plant, make some money, and then the byproduct you can then use on your fields, which is just a fantastic bit of kit. Or obviously later on in FS19 we did have some sell points and places that took digestate, so you could sell it as another product, as if you were selling it on to other people that were going to use it as fertilizer. So it is another form of fertilizer for your fields. I think that's it. Yeah, like I say, I don't know. Because it's not saying, there's nothing else. The only thing coming out of these facilities is digestate. I haven't got anything on that menu or on this menu that says electricity or gas, apart from the little recipe bit there, which tells you how it's split and what you're going to be getting. So that's an odd one. I say maybe you do know. I've been all through all sorts of stuff, and I've been through the help section down the bottom here. Didn't really have anything on it either. And I kind of do this as me personally, as a kind of layman's terms. I've done some of these before, and people have said, "Oh, well, you're making guide videos, you're making map tours, you're making mod reviews. You should know." I'll be honest, I don't know everything. I can't know everything. It's a new game. And then you get people say, "Well, why haven't you watched someone else's video to find out how to do it if you're not sure?" Because I want to find out how to do it. I want to learn how to do it. I could have just gone, you know what? I won't bother putting up a video. Watch someone else's. And that's my rule of thumb for making a guide video. If I come across a process that I want to try and do and I don't know how to do it, the chances are there will be other people that don't know how to do it as well. And if there are, if I can help them in any way by the results I get, whether they're good or bad, if I make mistakes, that's all part of the learning process. You know, because other people make mistakes too. And don't get me wrong, everybody does, and there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. It's how we learn. Right, so midnight it is, and we'll see how much we make. Obviously, the more we put through, if we do millions of litres of silage, we're going to make a lot more money than if we put through a few thousand litres of silage. This is just a test to show you where to put things and well, how to do things like that. For those of you who may have been shouting at your screens already, I think we get paid hourly. I sped up time and went off to do something else until I got through towards midnight. When I came back, I thought, my money's gone up. And I'm checking around now thinking, have I placed anything that generates income? I don't think I have. When we come onto this menu, we'll go up here and we'll see that slurry and SUGARBEET are still running on the 250. There's not a huge amount left of SUGARBEET cut. On this one, I've got quite a bit of SUGARBEET cut left. Digestate produced already 16,443 litres on the 1 megawatt. 4,020 produced the other one, which is all byproduct. We can go and grab that. We can use that for fertiliser. What I'm going to do is speed up time again and watch the time when it clicks over. Watch the time, watch the money. I know it says 78 million. Again, that was a mistake. I was prepping the map so I could do these things, and I left a couple of the government subsidy signs and skipped through the night, and then there was loads of money there. Yeah, 306,095. So the money's gone up on the hour. I think we get paid hourly rather than at midnight. That's a change from FS19. That's a big change from FS19. If you're putting through a fair bit on a large biogas facility, that's not bad getting that paid out hourly. I mean, not that it makes any difference hourly or midnight, you're still going to get paid the money. So if it goes up again, should do. I will still check at midnight in case we suddenly get a bumper payment, but now it hasn't gone up as much that time. Yeah, that's what makes me think that's the case, because I've only got slurry going nearly out SUGARBEET there, and SUGARBEET cut still going there. We will still check at midnight just to make certain, but it looks to me like it's hourly. So when I said earlier on, actually I'll probably put something on the edit. When I edit it, I'll say, yeah, definitely going up per hour, and I don't think I've got anything else placed. Yeah, looks like it's hourly. Nothing came up saying biogas income, and my money went down, not up, because of all the leasing costs of all the various different bits of equipment and stuff I've got. So it looks like it's an hourly payment, and that is where we'll leave it, in the darkness. Let's turn the light on. I do like the sort of soft edge glow around the side of it. Well, he's probably had it before, but so let me have it. That's our biogas plants, biogas operations. This is still producing, still processing slurry. The other one is still processing chopped SUGARBEET. And like I say, electricity and gas, no idea. And I don't mind admitting that. After the SUGARBEET chopping fiasco, trying to find a lot of things seems to be more of a treasure hunt than anything else. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.